Welcome to the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast.
This pig came battling.
Just ended up puking last night. It sucked.
Whoa! Ah! We gut it, we wrap it in tinfoil, throw it over the fire.
Alrighty, round two. We had some SD issues. This is the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast, episode I Don't Know. We are in Canada, hunting black bear in Ontario, Canada. Having a blast so far. I'm here with Kyle Org right now on the podcast. The other guys are fishing. We're up here with my dad, Robbie, and then Ray Vogel and Colton, my brother. So, yep, we're up here hunting black bears. We're having some success. Kyle, what do you think about being out of country for the first time?
Oh, it's great, man. I enjoy it. Reminds me a lot of out west back home where it's a bunch of just pine trees and stuff like that. A lot different from the area we're from, so.
Yep, and the bugs?
A lot of bugs, man. A lot of bugs. Mm-hmm. Mosquitoes and ticks everywhere.
Kyle is a firm believer of Thermacell now.
Yeah. Considering I ran out of fuel last night during my hunt.
Won't
and
make
just
that
had to
mistake
sit
again.
there with no Thermacell. But yeah, I used it, and this is the second time. I used it once last fall deer hunting. Yeah. And so then I just got it, and that's the first time I had it.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely works.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 100% firm believer of those. But yeah, anyway, we've been up here for 5 days now hunting black bears. We've had some failures. We've had some close calls, but we've had some success too, and we're going to talk about one of those coming up here. Everybody but Kyle has seen bears from the stand.
Yep.
So
Zero
bears from the stand, but we got some good intel coming into this one now. Kind of give you a heads up on how we're hunting these black bears. The outfitter we're using is kind of DIY style. So we bring our own tree stands, and we hunt from them, and then we also take care of the baits once we get here. Outfitter's got several bait sites open. I'm already baiting before we get up here, aka the outfitter on this one. My dad's been pretty much working for him. My dad's been coming up here with this guy since the 90s, so very, very close relationship with him. Anyway, he's been coming up here, so kind of DIY style, hunting these bears, and we're all hunting different stands. We got ladder stands, we got climbers, and then Kyle's got. Go ahead. What?
We had a brand new hang on. I think it's called the Helio
mm-hmm.
hunt ready system from Novex Tree Stands,
Mm-hmm.
and I like it, man. It's nice. It's not huge. It's very lightweight, so it's definitely for a mobile setup, and it's easy to hang. Like yesterday, I hung mine, and I had it on my back, and I hung it as I went up because I was by myself, so it's super easy. So I'm enjoying it.
I watched Kyle hanging up the first time. It's pretty slick.
Yeah,
pretty slick system.
And it's like, yesterday I moved it, so I took it down and moved it. Took me like 5 minutes to take it down.
Yeah,
that and all the sticks. Yeah, taking it down so fast.
Oh, yeah.
So easy.
Yeah. It's a pretty neat system. I liked it. And then I'm hunting out of my tree saddle, my cruiser tree saddle. That's what I'm hunting out of. So again, having fun. I'm going to let some of the other guys tell their stories later on a different podcast. Again, I don't know how many podcasts we're going to get out of this, probably a couple. And all of it's going to be on the channel. I was very fortunate, and I was able to get to my biggest bear to date. So I'm pretty happy. This will be my third time bear hunting up here. I went to Quebec when I was real young, and I didn't have any success there. But this will be my third time in Ontario. Killed a black bear. Very nice black bear that Kyle and I named Chubby Cheeks.
Yeah. So when's the first time you laid eyes on this? Not in the stand, but
correct
on pictures.
So when we first got up here, we kind of got a bonus hunt in, and we usually don't get that. We woke up super early in International Falls. Woke up in International Falls, and that's on the United States side. Cross the border, and then we go to Fort Francis then, and cross the border there. Anyway, so we crossed the border there, and get up here to Canada. We got here, what time do you think, 11? We got here at 11.
It was around 11.
Yeah, got here around 11 o'clock. Like I said, my dad's been up here for almost a month now. So I sent him up with all my trail cameras. He's got a few of his own, and then other guys had some of theirs. So he had been on these bait sites. He had trail cameras hitting. So first thing we did, we got here, let's look at the trail cam pictures. Actually, Kyle and I were looking at them on the way. My dad met us. It's like a 45-minute gravel drive that we're down. He met us. He met us at the opening. And he gave us the SD card. So Kyle and I are looking at them as we're driving, and we're looking at different sites. And my brother and I are arguing the whole trip up here. My dad sent us a picture of a cinnamon bear. It's actually hitting pretty close to camp. Real pretty, not giant, just a decent bear, but cinnamon color. And one of my goals coming up here was I want something unique, something that needs to be my personal best, or like a color phase or something like that. Yeah. That's what I wanted. I wanted one of the two. Anyway, my brother and I were arguing about this cinnamon color bear, and Colt and I, we kept trying to think how can we figure out who's going to hunt what and all this stuff. But then finally, I told Colt, I'm like, hey, let's just wait. When we get up there, we see SD cards. I might change my mind and want to hunt a different bear. Sure enough, I changed my mind. So we get to, we'll call it R4 is how we have the SD cards set up. So camera with R4 on it. We get there. It's a 3-mile drive from camp. I onnexed it not too long ago. And we had a bear on it that Kyle named Chubby Cheeks, because one of the pictures he's looking right at the camera. It's like he's got his cheeks blown out, like he's blowing air.
Almost like a rodent or something that had a bunch of a squirrel or something that has a bunch of food in his cheeks. Just big old ball.
Yep.
His face looked like a big old dinner plate. It was round. Mm-hmm. Wasn't sleek and smooth like some of the other bears we've seen.
Yep. So, and he would be my personal best. So right away I'm like, I want Chubby Cheeks. And it actually worked out good because the stand setups would have been hard for a ladder stand. Climber would have been okay. Kyle's Novix would have been okay, and of course my tree saddle was okay. So anyway, I decided, I'm gonna go after Chubby Cheeks. So Colton got to chase a cinnamon bear, which he has not seen yet. That bear's not coming in now all of a sudden, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, we haven't seen him since I guess maybe the first day we pulled cards. He was still there, and I haven't seen him since. Yep.
So Colton's been hunting, Ray's been hunting, Kyle's been hunting. So it was day 3. I had, honestly, out of all my sits, it's pretty uneventful. So that first day we got there, that Chubby Cheeks was there that morning. He was there that morning, and he was there all day the day before. Morning, midday, afternoon. So it's like, man, he's hitting this bait hard. No, success is going to be hopefully really high. Set my tree saddle, and one thing is interesting. So my other 2 bears, I've killed every bear now with my bow. My first bear was 13 yards. My second bear is 15 yards. This one, I set up the tree saddle. It's so thick up here. It just really is, as Kyle's seeing now.
Yeah, there's evergreens stacked on top of evergreens.
Yeah, it's hard to get 20 yards from a bait. It really is to get 20 yards.
Yeah, because then you just won't even see it, and you got to have eyes on it, see if it comes in.
Yeah, it's just difficult. So I'm 9 yards in the bucket when I rangefinder. So I'm right on top of this bucket. But I'm okay, with the tree saddle, I'm kind of on the other side of the tree at least. So, I can swing out and take a shoot and take a shot. So I'm using my cruiser tree saddle. And anyway, day 1, nothing. No, and usually my other stands when I've hunted up here, I got whiskey jacks coming in, and there's these little birds you'll see. I'm sure we got some video of it between all of us filming. These whiskey jacks come in, they're taking bread, spreading it out. A lot of times you got squirrels coming in, mice coming in. I had none of that. Just honestly a boring day. I had 0 activity at the bait, nothing that first day. The second day, he did not hit it overnight, where I think I was the only bait that wasn't hit.
Yeah, your bait was not touched.
Yeah, I was the only bait that wasn't touched. So I was like, man, that sucks. But oh well, I'm going to keep hunting it, give it another day. And And that time I saw, I'm gonna have to look it up. We don't know if I saw a pine marten or a fisher. It's whatever one's bigger. That's what I saw. And then my brother saw the opposite, whatever one's smaller. That's pretty cool. And I only saw that for maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And man, when I heard him coming through the woods, I got excited. In my mind, I'm like, this bear's dead. Like, this bear's coming out. It's gonna be coming out on the path behind me. It's gonna be like a 15-yard shot. Perfect. I'm like, man, this bear's dead. And then I see trees moving, boom, and this animal steps out. I'm like, dang, not a bear. But I did get some good footage of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm kind of not down in the dumps, but I'm like, okay, we're going to make a new game plan. We're going to try to hunt a different spot the next day. So the next morning, I volunteered to go bait with my dad. And we start baiting bears. And there's one stand, we'll call it A4, A4. We go down there. I make it 5 yards into the path. I see a bear at the bait. Oh, and it was a good bear. Not huge, but it was a good bear. Probably about the same size as my my first bear I ever killed. So anyway, I run back, grab the bow, start putting a stalk on it, and this bear herders come in and was walking towards the side-by-side, super slow, kind of looking. So I'm trying to get close because there was a stick coming out, and I know, like, man, I can't shoot it with that stick there. So I'm trying to creep up and get to stay to the side so I can jump in the weeds. And mind you, this whole time I'm getting eaten alive. I'm wearing a white long sleeve, so I'm not wearing any camo. White long sleeve with orange on. I get kind of tucked up, and finally he kind of, as he's walking, he's kind of raising his head looking. Finally, boom, he sees me and runs off into the woods, but only runs off into the woods maybe 40 yards and then just slowly walking away.
How close was he when you think he turned from you?
50, probably. 50. 40 at the, say 40 to 60, but I think he's around 50.
You were firearm hunting.
Oh, yeah, I had a frontal shot with a firearm. And I don't know if I would have taken that because I'd prefer the broadside, but I definitely could have. I wanted to force a shot like last day or something. I definitely could have. So like, okay, Dad and I go bait, and we're walking back. Dad walks within, this bear circled us. We didn't know. Dad walks 40. Dad said he was 40 yards with broadside. If I was with him, I could have shot him.
Oh, I didn't see. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And Dad goes, Cody's right there, and I'm kind of looking. Well, at that time he kind of, I want to say run off, kind of jogged off, and now I see him coming, and he's circling back the other way, the way he came originally, back to the bait. So no, I start creeping up. I give Dad the DJI action cam, give it to him. I start creeping up. I'm sitting like 15 yards from the bait. I'm like, he's gonna come circle around. I'm gonna get a 15-yard shot. And I waited. We probably stayed there 5 minutes, and I could hear him walking and then stop. And I think he was off. I bet he was within 60 yards of me, maybe even closer. But I couldn't see him. It was just too thick, and I couldn't hear any popping anymore. I'm like, he's just waiting. He hasn't heard the side-by-side go yet.
He's waiting to eat.
Yep. I'm like, he's just waiting for us to leave. And I was getting eaten alive because part of me thought, hey, I'll have Dad leave. Yep. Had Dad leave in the side-by-side because these bears get to timing us a lot of times.
Yeah, they hear that sound. They know it's dinner bell, yeah.
So, they hear us leave, they hear us get there, they hear us leave. And I was just getting eaten alive. My hands still got mosquito bites on it. And finally, I'm like, let's just get the hell out of here. Like, well, we'll have another chance at that bear, which I'll have him tell the story later on. We did get another chance at that bear later on. Did not end well, unfortunately, but again, I'll have him tell that story later on. Anyway, we leave. And again, we go back to pick these guys up, and now we're going to check our baits. And I'm kind of like, man, Chubby Cheeks wasn't there yesterday, didn't hit it at all, hit it overnight. Like, I'm thinking I'm probably going to pull my tree saddle and go hunt A1. For some reason, A1 in my head seems like a good spot. But anyway, we go check, and as soon as in the pathway that we dropped a little feed, and in the pathway, as soon as Ray and I turn the corner, that feed's gone. I'm like, ooh. We turned the bucket's kind of tipped over, still secured to the tree, but tipped over. I'm like, oh, I think he's been back. A bear's been here for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay. We'll go back. We'll check the SD card and see. As soon as we got back here and put the SD card, Chubby Cheeks had been there.
Yep.
Been there that morning. A couple hours before we got there. So I'm like, well, I got to give it another chance. So anyway, we go out about 4 o'clock. Hunt our spots. Another guy had success. We'll have him tell the story on a different podcast. And early success too. So I'm like, I was pumped already in the stand because I was the only one that could hear him shoot. I was the closest one to him. Like, oh, sweet. Like, we probably got at least one bear down. So I'm excited. I'm sitting there still, again, nothing. I don't have no birds coming in, no squirrels, pine squirrels coming in, no nothing. So I'm kind of bored. And then right before 8 o'clock, minutes before 8 o'clock, I hear one pop. And I hear the pop and I look and I see a bear's butt just coming through the woods. I'm like, oh, that's a bear. And I'm like, man, it looks like a good bear too. And then finally he peeked around the tree and I could see his face. I'm like, chubby cheeks.
There you are.
Yeah, here he is. And man, he came right in. Like, so the other two bears that I've killed, all came in cautiously.
Yeah.
And now they were kind of more
scoping the situation out, looking around.
Yeah, real, curious and cautious. And I think the reason for that one, the first year I hunted, when I killed my at one time a bigger bear, I knew there was a bigger bear in that area, so I think it was cautious for that bigger bear. And the second one was just a young, yearling, and I think he was just being so small. I think he was just cautious for that reason. But this bear, man, Chubby Cheeks came in like I'm king of the forest. Did not care. Anyway, he comes right in, and like I said, the bait bucket is 9 yards away. He sits down right on the other side, so he's 10 yards from me. I'm only so the way the stands worked out, the bait is up on a little hill. It then goes downhill and then back uphill, so it's the same level playing ground as the bait, and that's where my tree's up. So really, it doesn't look like I'm much taller than the bear when I'm up there.
Yeah.
I am up above him, but not by much. So I'm kind of behind the tree. I'm kind of peeked off to the side so I can shoot. Well, he's facing me the whole time. And he comes in. There was some popcorn and bread on the ground. And he's kind of sucking that up. I'm just waiting for get a shot, but he's frontal shot, and I don't want to take that shot. I know I probably could and probably kill him. Just don't want to take it. At one time, he starts quartering to me. And I actually was half drawn back, and then he kind of started moving, so I let down. But nope, not going to shoot that. I probably got 4 or 5 minutes of film of him on camera, just him sitting there at 10 yards. And
he ain't even touched the bait yet, right?
No, just the bait on the ground. That's all he's touching. Hasn't touched the bucket.
He's just sitting.
Well, so he wasn't sitting yet. He was just sitting, not standing there, but real calm. And he did sit down at one point in time. And then he got up. I'm like, okay, here we go. Boom, turns broadside, and then sits. So now he's sitting there, perfectly broadside, though. And I'm in my mind, I don't see why I wouldn't take the shot.
Yeah.
Which it was a good thing before I get to the shot execution. It's probably a good thing he was there for so long. Dude, I was nervous, man. I was like, he's a big bear. And just being that close to him. And one time I looked down at my broadhead. My broadhead's just shaking back and forth. Whew. Took some good tactical breaths. Got calmed down.
Buck fever.
Yeah, I'm like, Cody, you can do this. Blah, blah, self-motivation here. Anyway, when he sits down and turns broadside, I pulled back, felt really good about the shot, and smoked him. It went, when we found him, cleaning him, the arrow went right behind the back shoulder, and then he must have been quartering slightly, would be away from me.
Yeah.
Because
so
that
left shoulder is backside shoulder.
Yes, and my
was turned in a little.
And my broadhead broke that other shoulder and punched through it. It didn't do a complete pass through, but it punched through that back shoulder. And I'm shooting a 600 grade day 6 arrow. Their outsert system, really like it, and I'm shooting an iron wheel wide cut broadhead. This is my first year hunting black bear without a mechanical.
Yeah.
Because mainly you want to hunt. Usually you want to shoot black bears with mechanicals because their hide really soaks up that blood. So the biggest hole you can put in it, the better. These wide cuts have 1.5 inch cutting diameter, and I really like them for deer. I got them for elk hunting when Kyle and I went elk hunting back in 21. Well, actually, I think I got it back in 2020 when I went with Dad originally. But anyway, got those, excited about them. Anyway, smoked this bear, and I'm like, I hear him run, and he runs about 20 yards and then disappears and stuff where I can't see anymore. I thought I heard him crash, but wasn't 100% sure. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it 15 minutes. Or originally I said I'm gonna give it 30 minutes. About 15 minutes go by, and I looked like I could see. I didn't hear any more crashing. Didn't hear death moan, which again they don't always do death moan. I see a little redness by the bucket. I'm like, oh, that's probably blood. I'm like, I'm gonna get down. It's 15 minutes. I'm gonna go down, look at that red stuff, and see if I can see what kind of blood I got. Get down there, it's red bait gel. That's what it is. So it's not even blood. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna start walking this way where we went and see. Well, I get on this little hill rise. I'm only like 10 yards from the bait bucket. I can see black. I can see, okay, there he is. So I start walking towards him. I see him take a breath. I'm like, ah, shit.
He's still alive.
Yeah. So then I'm thinking, this is also my first time bear hunting without a gun. I usually took a shotgun with me as well with my bow. This year I took just my bow. And, and he's a big bear. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do here? I'm like, I think if I just let him sit, he'll die. But to me, like, if he's still alive now, I need to get another arrow in him. Number one, I don't want him to go. But number two, and probably the most important, is I don't want him to suffer, Yeah. So I get within 12 yards of him, probably. Sneak up on him. And he's hurting bad. I can see him. He got his head down. He's painting. I can see not a lot of blood coming out, but I can see right behind his shoulder where there's some blood coming out. So anyway, I'm trying to shoot through this pine tree. First arrow with the wide cut. So I got their iron will solid, and I got their wide cut. The first arrow with the wide cut, sure enough, it hit a twig and skimmed over its back. I'm like, damn. Well, this smaller cutting diameter, maybe I can squeeze this second broadhead through. Boom, shoot, and I just skimmed like his back strap, it looked like. I'm like, I got one arrow left, boys. Like, what are we gonna do here? So then I creep. I go to the left instead of the right, and I get within 6 yards of him, and he's still breathing. And I'm kind of up above him on a little bit of a cliff, and I'm thinking, man, I hope when I shoot him, he runs away from me.
Not at you.
Yeah, because I'm already kind of looking at my exit plan here. Okay, if he turns and faces me, I have no more weapons. I have a knife. Like, where, which way am I going? I kind of look, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go this way. But when I get where I'm facing his spine, essentially, and he's facing away from me. So I shoot right through his spine, and actually that arrow ended up punching through his front of his chest. Complete pass-through. He runs 15 yards and dies. And he did do death moan on that one. And just super, super ecstatic. Super, super proud of this bear. Field dress, he ended up weighing just shy of 220. It's like 219, something like that. I'm going to say 220. It's my bear, so shut up.
We can round up.
Yeah, we can round up. Fine. But anyway, that was field dress. By far my biggest bear. Man, he's thick.
Yeah, he's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, he's thick. He's got a good coat on him, other than the
his
arrow
neck's
holes.
like just so big, man. His neck and head.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm curious to see what he's gonna age out to be once we send the teeth off. But yeah, I'm just super happy with this bear, man. It didn't die in a terrible spot, but it didn't die in a good spot either, I would say.
I would say it was good that it wasn't very far away from the road, but it was very thick right
thick
there.
And downhill.
And we had to carry it uphill, and and there definitely had to be some stuff where we had to like, all right, now you got to step up 4 feet over this onto the next plateau.
Yep. But it was really cool. So I was pumped, ecstatic.
Yeah, I was super pumped because we had been. It was going real slow up until then. And I don't think at that point no one had seen a bear in their stand at all.
Nope. Ray, which I'll have him tell the story, he had missed one when he was exiting his stand.
Yeah, he saw exiting the stand at the end of the first day hunt.
Yeah, he had about 15 minutes
to see one at bait sites yet.
Yeah, and when we were coming up here, we were super pumped because Dad's sending these pictures, and there's daylight bears every day.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, we got here and just shut off.
Nighttime.
Yeah.
Nighttime or morning.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. So anyway, we get that bear out after some struggle. Like I said, another hunter had success. I'll have him get on the podcast and tell that story later. But then, yesterday I spent all day just field dressing him. It was a lot of work to feel a lot more than a deer.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
Yep, and get that cape off. He's going to be a rug.
Yeah, because you're keeping the hide, so it's different. So you gotta be careful and meticulous about your cuts.
Yep. keeping the hide. We ate them today a little bit.
We did.
Yep,
very good.
Yep, kept the tenderloins out because I knew we'd probably eat some, and that was not your first time having bear. You had bear at my house before, right?
That was better, but I don't know what you made.
That was just backstrap last time. Yeah, this time was 2 days old.
Yeah, 2 days old and tenderloins. Yeah, it melted in your mouth. Yeah, it was delicious.
Yep, it was good. And I knew Ray had never had bear before, so I was like, oh, we'll cook some up. So yep, I had his tenderloins already. It's all gone. Yeah, just delicious, man. Having a super good time, and we'll talk a little bit. We're gonna. Hopefully we'll have another podcast here later with some success, but we've got some high hopes for tonight.
Yep, got some good pictures on camera. I think we got 3 different bears hitting baits during daylight, which we haven't had.
Correct.
Since Chubby Cheeks.
Yes, which I like daylight, though. We might have 4.
Daylight.
Didn't A1 have 1 morning bear?
Oh, no, my R2 had, remember?
R2.
My R2.
Okay.
So the stand I had been hunting, I haven't seen anything yet in the stand, but we've been getting pictures of a little bear hitting it every night around 11 o'clock. And he's pretty small and he didn't do anything to the bucket. Well, I was thinking about switching stands after 2 days, and then when we ran baits, my bucket was on the ground and ripped almost in half.
Probably a good bear.
So me and Colton were like, that's not little bear.
Yep.
So pulled the camera, and there was a good sized bear that had hit it at like 7:30 that morning. So I hunted the next morning, didn't see him, but yeah. So those are the only 2 daylight bears that we had until today.
Yep, until today.
And then we got 3.
Yep, 2 on the stand we're hunting.
2 on the stand we're going to.
Technically 3 if you count the yearly, but
technically 3.
And then Colton's gonna hunt a place where one's hitting daylight too.
And it actually hit twice. Didn't on his it hit? What was it? No, it was this morning.
So yeah.
No, it was in there last night.
Yeah, it was there last night.
So yeah, it was on camera. Same bear on twice.
So is he hunting his first stand?
He's hunting R1 again.
Yeah, R1 again.
Because it was
the stand
he
didn't hunt.
He wasn't there last night, and it was there at like 6 something.
Yep.
It's like would have killed it, and it's a good one.
Yeah.
And then it was there again this morning.
Yep.
Around 5:30ish this morning. So he's coming back.
So essentially, that cinnamon bear we said at the beginning of this podcast, it was always partnered by a taller black bear.
Yeah.
And usually cinnamon would come in, and then the black one would come in like an hour after. And yeah, just that black one showed up now. Yeah, if Colton hunted it last night, he would have killed it.
Yeah, he would. So, but you gotta follow the intel.
Yep. So
and in his bucket, it did not get hit a whole day or so prior to that. So he was like, "Oh, my bucket's not even getting hit."
Correct.
So we'll go move stands, which I would have done the same thing.
Correct. Yep. So I think Dad is going to sit with him tonight and film him. So hopefully we get that film. Oh, and by the way, Chubby Cheeks was all on film, so that'll be coming to the podcast.
Yep, it's great.
Yeah, I was
very
happy with the footage. I was using my brand new release. Pretty happy with. It was the Hot Shot Archery Ember. It's my first animal with it. Really happy with it. And then when we cooked them up with some Mr. Rub, Andy's Backwoods seasoning. So yeah, it was good stuff.
Yep.
But I think you're gonna get one.
Yeah. I think we're gonna definitely see one. So.
Yeah. So Kyle,
I got high hopes.
Kyle is the only one that hasn't got an opportunity yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen a live bear.
Yeah. Other than we saw a cub on the way in.
Yeah, I don't count that.
Yeah.
It was literally, it was a born this spring cub, so it was itty bitty. But other than that, I'm the only one that have not laid eyes on a live bear out here in the wild. So
and I know my dad feels the same.
I do.
I know my dad feels the same way about this that I do. Our big thing when we take other people hunting, we want to give them an opportunity, at minimum. If we give them an opportunity, we did our job. If they don't get an opportunity, then we don't feel like we did our job. But if we give them an opportunity and they squander it, well, that's on them.
Yeah.
But we're going to give them an opportunity. Yeah. And I think you're going to get your opportunity tonight.
I think so.
And maybe at multiple bears,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm hoping.
Which I would say he's going to get a pick, but they better come in at the same time or he ain't going to get a pick.
No, because they're both shooters.
Yeah.
They're both shooters.
Yep. And both got beautiful coats.
Yep.
So you're already thinking rug maybe if you get some success?
Oh, yeah, I'm planning on that. Yep. I was planning on that. The only thing I'd like wanted different, and I talked to you about it, is just that the bottom thing. I'd
Yeah,
like it to
frill.
be almost invisible, where it just kind of more looks like just a tanned hide, and then maybe just flat black
I have seen where
felt.
when they do that felt, and it'll still stick out like as much as mine. But what I saw what they did is they did black, and it did look a lot better. And then I saw another guy who had a cinnamon bear. He did brown felt.
Yeah, I plan to do black, but I don't know, something about the folding over and that, like the border, just I don't know,
Not
not
crazy
my
about it.
style.
Yeah. Well, you get it. I mean,
I was-
tanned easy enough,
yeah.
and it'll look good.
Well, I would imagine they could just do that and keep it flat,
I would think so.
but I don't know.
I
I have
think
to
so.
talk to the
Yeah,
people
we'll
about it,
figure
but
it
you
out.
know,
We'll
putting the
figure
cart
it out.
before the horse there. Hopefully, I got kill one first.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
but I did want to ask you because this would, well, hogs not included. This would be like probably our first, at least for me, first like wild animal bait hunting. Because
Oh, yeah.
in Illinois we don't do it.
Correct.
And I know people have got opinions about that. You know, down south they bait the crap out of deer and stuff because they don't have the agriculture field and anything like that. So what's your little opinion on that?
So, like I said, this would be technically my fourth time over bait. To what I think, a couple things why I like hunting bears over bait. Number one, as you're saying, it's not 100% guaranteed.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't even seen one yet.
Yeah. So as I said, these bears get used to it, the magic bait bucket, as my dad calls it. But they also get to where, okay, I know where this bait bucket is. I can go downwind. If I can smell them, I ain't going in there right now. So I 100% believe some of these bears probably haven't came in because they smelled us. And so it's not 100% guaranteed. So the people who think, "Oh, just throw some bait out there and you're gonna come and whack on," no, it's
Yeah,
not.
they're not coming to it daylight every day at the same time, and it's not that.
Correct. I wish it was, but it's not.
No.
And then number two, it's so thick up here. Spot and stock is out of the question. I mean, it just really is.
Yeah, I don't know how you'd hunt them otherwise.
Yeah, and even if you had dogs, I don't know how you'd keep up with the dogs.
No, you'd do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be.
And there's not there's a whole bunch of roads, but like these roads turn into miles, and it'll take you an hour to go 1 mile, maybe more, if you're walking it. It's just so thick. I don't know how you'd ever do spot and stock.
Yeah, I don't see it any different than hunting whitetails over food plot.
No,
it's
just similar.
it's very similar. I would
Yep,
say.
you're putting an attractant out there, and they're coming to the attractant.
So yeah,
Nope, I agree with you. But the third thing too is you can be selective.
True.
Yeah, if you're just sitting in an opening, you're just hoping things come by. But when you're being selective, we thought Chubby Cheeks was a boar. We thought just by looking at the trail cam picture, but you're not 100% sure. When he came in, I was 99% sure he was a boar. Just looking at him, just looking how he's ruling the roost and stuff. Because a lot of times sows are still a little cautious. I'm like 90% sure this is a boar. Which, don't get me wrong, if it was a sow, I was still going to shoot it. But yeah, I was almost positive this is a boar bear. And spoiler alert, the other bear that's been killed in camp, it was a boar as well.
yeah.
Knock on wood here. Every bear that I've killed has been a boar. Which again, no big deal if you shoot a sow.
No problem shooting a dry sow.
Yeah, but what I don't think people realize too about bears is how dense their population is. Actually, I want to say they're like back home in Illinois. We live in Fulton County, Illinois. Deer populations are really high, and they're not that high. A black bear, it's not that high, but you got to remember with a black bear, deer aren't getting in your trash cans. Deer aren't getting into your campsites. A black bear is. A group ahead of us here, they actually killed a bear in camp because it was getting into camp and stuff. Essentially take a raccoon and make it 200 pounds. That's what these black bears are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they cause issues and populations on the rise. It's just, yeah,
They need managed.
they need manage, and
They do.
nobody else is going to do it except humans. So, and as we know, if you haven't tried it, black bear meat's good. I do prefer venison over it, but it is good. I do like it. It's not like I got to force myself to eat it. No, I enjoy it. And plan on making some sausage and stuff out of this black bear. But yeah, I don't have any issues hunting over bait.
Yep.
Don't have any issues. It's not all for some people. If you want to go out west and hunt them spot and stock out in the United States, good for you. 100% good for you. This is just not what I'm going to do. I might do it one day, but another reason I like bait is I was 10 yards from this bear.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, that encounter is so, like, close and intimate.
Yeah, I mean, I could hear him breathing, and he's just, ruling the roost. Like, you can't beat that.
No, that's cool.
You can't beat that.
I'm ready to experience that.
Mm-hmm. The other bear that was being killed, it walked from underneath his stand. The other bear that there was an interaction with, it was almost climbing up the hunter's tree. Like,
yeah, they're.
It's just cool interactions, man. That's probably, honestly, that's one of the biggest things I like about bait is being that close. Like I said, my 3 bears now, 15 yards, 13 yards, 10 yards. So, and and I want to call myself obviously a beginner bow hunter. I've been doing it forever now, but if you are a beginner bow hunter, you can't beat that shot. You know?
Yeah. Big, large animal 10 yards away from you.
Yeah, it's hard to miss.
Yeah, you should. You're gonna hit that animal more than likely.
Yep. Kyle, you got anything else you want to add to this one?
Nope. I'm excited about tonight. I am hunting with my shotgun. I decided to bring that because I've still haven't only shot one animal with my bow so far, and I just didn't want to come all the way to Canada and risk missing or making a bad shot.
Yep.
Now, if I am successful and do harvest one, I think I will bring my bow if I come back.
Oh, yeah.
But, nope, excited about tonight. Ready to sit in the stand.
Yep. Me too, man. I'm excited. I think we're going to have some success. I'm looking forward to it. We got 3 more days. Pretty excited for it. So, we're going to get it off here, guys. Appreciate everything. Hope you guys like this. This is podcast number 1 from the Canadian Bearwoods. And hopefully we're going to have a couple more podcasts after this. All right. See you guys. Thanks.